New videos every day.
Life, wisdom. Psyche truth, massage.
Welcome, I'm Melissa Lemunion, and I'm here today with Karina to do an introductory how to do a massage if you've never done a massage before video. Even if you have a little bit of experience or none at all, this video will be full of helpful tips on how to give your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, cat, dog, no, just people, a really good, basic, feel-good massage. So let's get started. I am going to rub my hands together to generate some warmth so that Karina doesn't jump right off the table. And so, like with working out, it's important for muscles to be warmed up and relaxed. Now notice how I'm just really gently rocking along her spine. Now, depending on boundaries with whoever you're working on, you can go all the way down to the side of the hip. If you're in a romantic relationship with somebody, a butt massage is a wonderful present to give someone. I think that it's really easy if you are a first-time massage giver or, just starting out. It's easy to get up in your head and to focus too much on, okay, what fancy massage technique am I going to do next? How do I do this thing when the reality is just touching somebody, just as simply as this. Can be incredibly relaxing for whoever's on the table. So this comes to the fact that you, as the therapist, if you're not feeling relaxed, if you're not feeling good, if perhaps you're bending over too much while you're working on somebody and hurting your back, all of that will affect how your partner feels. And so I try to remember whenever I'm working on somebody, especially if it's for a friend, that the calmer I am, the more my friend will feel good. And they don't know if the touch feels good. They don't know if I'm just, rocking or if I'm doing something, complicated involving their trapezius. All touch feels good if the person giving it is relaxed and in a good space. Okay, so this is one of the very first techniques I ever learned, and we're going to be working with the palms of our hands. And this is a really good warm-up step to address these long muscles up and down the spine. Now, for beginners, it's really important. Don't massage bone. You can touch it, obviously, but just don't ever do pressure along the bones, especially the spine, and most especially for somebody who's face down. Just want to be really careful with the neck and the cervicals. Okay, so here's just a nice little, you can kind of like pinch the neck. You can rub along the base of her skull, and then down at the bottom. So the number one thing I would suggest to beginners is just try and breathe. Just breathe and touch, and know that really and truly whatever it is you're doing is going to make your friend feel awesome. Touch is one of the most amazing gifts. Okay, so I'm bracing my hands between her shoulder blades right here. I'm standing firmly, and now I'm just going to straighten my arms and push from my back, leaning into the bottom part of my hands. So this is a technique that you do before you put any oil or cream. And what I'm doing is while I'm pushing on the muscle, I'm stretching out the thin, sticky connective tissue that covers all of her muscles. And notice how Karina just took a deep breath right there. All right, good job. And so that's another thing to do, is to pay attention to how your partner's breathing. Now, Karina has really healthy muscle tissue. For somebody who's a little bit tighter, this technique could, this rub, this spinal push could take even longer, because I'm not forcing the tissue. I'm simply allowing the connective tissue to melt. All right. And so it's really important to end and rub over the very top of the sacrum. All right. Before I do anything else, I'm really curious. Why are you watching this video? Are you bored or trying to relax? Are you trying to get an eyeful of the lovely Karina? Or are you, looking to learn how to give massage to somebody you care about? Let me know. I'm really curious. All right. Kind of along the same lines to what I just did, I'm now using my thumbs to just really slowly, gently go down the length of her spine. So in addition to breathing and remembering to watch your partner's breath, never, ever poke or go deep without proper warm-up. And so, don't drop an elbow into your friend's back until you know what you're doing and, have warmed the tissue up. All right. So what I'm doing right now is just a real gentle type of petrissage, which means that I'm moving tissue in two different directions. I'm pushing down and pulling up, and then I'm rolling a circle, pushing down, pulling up. And I can do this all the way up. You'll notice that I'm still not using any oil right now. I'm a fan of, especially if this was a more casual setting, of knowing of techniques to do without a lubricant, because, Karina can just get up and put on a shirt and she doesn't have to worry about, wiping off and everything. I'm not going to get oil in her hair or anything like that. All right. And you can kind of do some between the shoulder blades if you want to finish up that movement with some thumbs, making a V like this. Those shoulder blade muscles or rhomboids are usually pretty tight. All right. So I've already done one kind of feel-good stroke, which was the rocking, and you can actually rock pushing down. This usually feels really good. Put your blade of your hand into right above their shoulder blades. All right, Karina, take a deep breath. All right, exhale. So you can rock vertically, you can rock horizontally, and this is going to be real nice for those triggery spots along her shoulder blade. All right. I'm also a really big fan of head rubs, and I think this is a really excellent beginner's technique because you're going to be giving a therapeutic level of relaxation without needing a whole lot of training. And so the important thing is to remember finger pads. Don't use your nails, obviously, and don't be afraid to do firm pressure. Your head is full of nerve endings and acupuncture points, and the skull is actually jointed, although they're immovable joints, but it feels really good. Something I'm doing, I'll kind of demonstrate it on her arm, is I'm kind of zippering my fingers like this straight along the top of her skull. Now, if there was a massage move to win friends and influence people, I think this one is it. All right. Now, since I know Karina does a lot of sitting and computer work, I want to do some stuff to help with her trapezius muscles, which are, those giant shoulder knots. And so one really simple way to do that, in addition to rubbing the sore muscles, is to address the very top of her arm right here, and the top of her chest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come underneath through her armpit and lifting her shoulder up a little bit. I'm going to rub towards the shoulder. So you're basically kind of like lifting and pulling. Let me see, darling. Actually, no, let's do that. So anyways, the reason I'm keeping her arm down is because having her arm up, it tightened the muscles I'm trying to work on. So I've got her shoulder like this. You just kind of lift the shoulder up. You can use your partner's own body weight to kind of just lift and pull this tighter muscle along the front of her body. And what this will do is this will help the pec muscle stop stretching these muscles right here. Because what happens when you hold she's holding her arm forward, typing or whatever, is this muscle gets really tight and really strong and overworked, so it pulls these muscles in the upper back. All right. So what I'm doing right now is I just have I'm not pinching, but I've got a firm grip on her shoulder. I'm just going to kind of rotate it, using my fingertips to keep working her chest. And when I say chest, I'm talking about what connects her shoulder to her arm, her shoulder and arm to her torso. There we go. All right, we'll finish up with some just real gentle stretching on her shoulder and neck. And so again, since I don't have any oil, I'm moving really slowly and kind of just letting her tissue just melt. And I think especially for beginners, you have less grip and less control when there's an oil involved. And so it would be a lot easier if I had oil to drop her shoulder or to move too quickly, or to, even if I didn't have my nails trimmed, I could possibly slice her if I had oil and I wasn't paying attention. Which comes back to just breathe, just breathe, and know that if you feel good, your partner will feel good too. Especially if you're a new therapist, like, don't try and take anyone else's stuff. No one is served by you absorbing someone else's tension. All right, now I'm going to do some gentle compression. So I'm pressing on my fingertips. I've got my palm of my hand adding some pressure too. And I'm just going to move really slowly down her spine. Hey honey, how's this pressure? Okay. I guess another beginner's thing is make sure you verbally invite your partner to say too much. Too much pressure, too hard, too fast, too pokey. Because if the way you're touching somebody doesn't feel good to them, the body's natural defense mechanisms will kick in, which mean tension and lack of circulation, which are the exact opposites of what we're trying to do now, which is relax and increase blood flow. Oh, good job, sweetie. And again, I'm finishing this move off, rolling over the very top of her sacrum, because we communicated that it would be okay for me to do that. I'm just going to repeat on the other side. All right, so I'm just going to wrap up this basic back with finishing the other side of her spine. It's important to do things evenly, so if you rub one shoulder, rub the other. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this helps you and your loved ones. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to Psyche Truth to see more awesome content like this.